So Laren's asking here in the chat, Shaktipat from Grace after she wakes up. Why? Yeah, so sometimes people have ideas that the Kundalini awakening is a single moment where the energy bursts through the spine, there's a big explosion, and then they say, okay, that's the awakening. And then other experiences happen in the future at a later date where we may receive Shaktipat from a teacher, a guide, a guru, maybe in a dream, maybe in a vision. Maybe there's another energetic explosion, another energetic rising. And we think, why is this happening? I thought I already went through the awakening. Isn't it already awake? Well, I think it's more of a spectrum, and we can have multiple of these energetic risings. We can receive Shaktipat over and over again in different ways, and they will have an effect on the awakening process within us, on the transformational process within us. So for myself, I've had, I would say, three major risings. One rising I could break it down over the course of a 9-day retreat. I was having a rising every day. That was only a few months ago. The first rising for me took place in 2015, the major rising. So it just risings always happening, receiving. Then I received Shaktipat in visions and dreams probably 4 times in the past 4 months since the beginning of January. It just keeps happening. The benefits are there. It's just the energy coming to serve us and help us to transform. So it's not that it's a one and done type thing. This is an ongoing process. We're just in it. We just surrender to it. Some may only have one major rising. Maybe. Nothing is going wrong if they don't have more, but some may have multiple, and nothing is going wrong in those cases either. So we just kind of surrender and things just happen as they do. The transformation carries itself out. So Laren's asking here, are these downloads? Sometimes they come with downloads of information, of insight, of intuition, of teachings. Sometimes it's sort of an energetic experience where the body is, really amped up with that Shakti energy. So those experiences can have all sorts of information packed into them. It's whatever we need at the time. It's an interesting question. Taze is saying here, can you please explain more on the Shaktipat during the dream? Yeah, so Shaktipat, for those who aren't familiar, it's the transmission of the power of Shakti, a spiritual power. So stereotypical idea is a guru, may tap you on the forehead, on your third eye, and stir up some Shakti, and you transfer some Shakti into you. But it doesn't just happen by a guru in the physical flesh. It can happen within dreams as well. There's many ways that Shaktipat can take place. The most recent experience I had was with Jesus, actually. Jesus, it was in a dream, and Jesus was there with his 12 disciples. The 12 disciples turned into angels, and I began to sort of float up into the clouds. And then there was this immense transmission, this immense blast of I can only describe it as a dull explosion, a gentle explosion of just, vibratory current, the vibratory force of God awakening in my heart. And, then I woke up and I thought, oh, that was pretty cool. It's interesting. I woke up into a sort of meditative state, feeling the vibrations moving through my body. I'm awake now. I'm not dreaming, but the effects of that transmission were still, having an impact in my waking life, because it's not just a dream. It's not just a hallucination. It's a valid experience that has a significant impact on the nervous system. So I was awake there, and then I just, relaxed, went back to sleep, went back into sort of meditation. I don't really know. And then a sort of similar type of dull explosion happened again. This was a couple weeks ago. That's just one recent experience. The dreams are very powerful. All sorts of things can happen. I'm not special, by the way. This is not something special. Maybe if I told the average person, hey, I met Jesus in a dream and I had this dull explosion of bliss and love and light, they'd say, wow, this guy's a visionary or something. But no, no, I'm sure there's probably amongst all of us, there's probably like 50 different experiences that we've all had like this. It's not uncommon. I've had other experiences in dreams, with other teachers, guides, healers, all sorts of things like that. So it can happen. It can definitely happen, and it's very real. It's very real. It's not just a dream. It's serious transmissions of a lot of power that have significant implications on our waking life. Um, and yeah, so if you're open to it, you know, whenever I go to sleep, there's an intention. And I just say, I approach sleep as a spiritual practice. It's kind of like I'm going into a meditation. I'm not saying I hope that something cool happens. I'm just saying, oh, I'm sleeping. This is sadhana for me. This is spiritual practice. Go to sleep. Every now and then, a dream will be meaningful. Not always, but yeah, sleep can be approached as a sadhana, as a spiritual practice. Something to consider. Taze says here, thank you. I've been having a lot of dreams with crazy things I can't explain. I think maybe I had a Shaktipat. Sometimes some goddess or angels appears, like Virgin Mary, Archangel Michael, Kali. Yes, yes. So in some ways, we could say that these apparitions of these deities, these angels, etc., in the dreams, or even in a vision, the Sanskrit word is darshan. Darshan. I'll type it in the chat here. So it means the sighting of a holy being. The sighting. Sometimes darshan comes with a transmission of energy. And so Shaktipat doesn't have to necessarily be this explicit, overt experience we have where the guru, the guide, the angel, the deity, blasts you with energy. It can just be seeing them that we, get that transmission. So when they meet us in dreams, seeing them can stir up some devotion. It can stir up some emotional thing. It can give us a little bit of inspiration to keep going on our journey, to go out and search more for stories about those deities, right? To learn some mantras about those deities, whatever it is, it can inspire us. And that's what we need. So we can consider that to be a form of transmission as well. It doesn't always have to look like this very, black and white Shaktipat type of thing. We get exactly what we need. And, it's a very creative journey, you could say, where the divine is infinitely creative. So there's so many different ways that all of this comes about that we can receive the transmissions and whatnot.